And welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Trifecta Sports of LA. We have a lot for you today. We have a lot of MLB going on, as well as some football. But we have a very interesting race with the Dodgers, which we'll be covering a lot today. That is the main portion of our show. We'll also have some football news. The Rams are looking like one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL. USC was able to squeak out a win over Washington State. And the Angels, Shohei Ohtani has declared for Tommy John surgery, which is going to have the first week of the offseason. So now let's just go into our main stories. Right now, just fantasy. Le'Veon Bell, right now, he is currently still in a holdout, and he's going to be in a holdout for however long. I have no idea. No one has any idea. But he's obviously not coming back anytime soon. And one of his former teammates, James Harrison, his advice is actually that he should return and fake an injury, so that way he's with the team he's signed, but he's actually still earning the money, but technically he's not playing, because his whole point is he doesn't want to play and then get hurt under a contract that he doesn't like. And that is, I believe, a good thing, or I believe he's a good point, because he's one of the best receivers and running backs, one of the best, catching running backs in the league, also the best rushing running backs in the league, and I believe that he is very valuable to a team. So to have him get hurt and ruin the rest of his career, I believe that it's not worth it if he's under a contract that he doesn't like. Now, something else. We have the Brewers and the Cardinals right now in the bottom of the 7th with one out. We have the Brewers up 2-1. As we're gonna get into that, we're gonna get into one of the craziest off seasons we've seen so far. And let's look a little bit into that. We're going to go with MLB for the first portion of our show. And the first thing we can see here is the Red Sox have clinched. That's a fact, I believe. The Red Sox have clinched. And the Yankees have clinched the wild card. Now, the AL is kind of straightforward. Every team has clinched, I believe. Yes, every single team has clinched, and actually, everything is clinched. There's no way that anyone can win in any scenario. Now, if we go to the National League, however, only one team is clinched, and no wild card scenarios are clinched. Now, the Atlanta Braves have clinched, and the Nationals are a little bit back in the wild card. Right now, I'm not sure who's first, but we have 2 half-game leads as far as the West and the Central. But that's pretty much it. And you have the Cardinals who are only 4.5 games back, which is, it's a long shot, but they might be able to make it. So right now our contending teams are the Cubs, the Brewers, Dodgers, and Rockies. And that is our MLB update. Now we can go straight to the Dodgers here. Now, first of all, the Dodgers, they are up a half game. They play the Diamondbacks. The game started 10 minutes ago. That is a big series for them. And right now, let's look at some team leaders. You have Matt Kemp, he's batting .284. Max Muncy's batting 33 home runs, and he has 82 runs batted in. Right now, one of their biggest problems is their average. They're not a good team for average. They have the 6th most runs, the 5th best on base percentage, but they have the 16th best batting average, which is kind of interesting. But their pitching is their problem. If we go to their pitching stats, their bullpen is their problem, my bad, because they have the 2nd best ERA, 2nd best quality starts, 2nd best whip, and 2nd best batting average against. However, their bullpen, Kenta Maeda gave up that bomb last night. He says he was shook because the previous night he did hit someone. Whether that is true or not, I don't know. No one else knows. That is supposedly what he told his interpreter, but that would make sense. There was blood flying everywhere. That was a very scary moment. So if he looked shook, I would kind of understand. So that's the Dodgers roundup. Now let's go to the Angels. The Angels roundup is they've won 2 straight, but they're down 23 games. They obviously were out a long time ago. There really isn't any point in the season now for them. It's just, playing, getting time. Their problems. Now, their problems is their on-base percentage. Their batting average is decent, but their on-base percentage is atrocious. It's 313, which is 20th in the league. Their pitching is also a big problem. They had a bunch of pitchers on, they have 5 pitchers with Tommy John and 14 with season-ending injuries. They are no better than 18th in any of the pitching stats. And that is definitely something to watch out for. But next year, Ohtani might return next year to hit. We don't know. So he's definitely not going to pitch. He's going to return to pitch in 2020. But I believe that he will be a better pitcher. I mean, a better hitter than a pitcher, because he won't be able to stay healthy as a pitcher. But as a hitter, he can stay healthy and he can actually do some work for the Angels. Now, that's my take on the Angels. Now, we're going to go to commercial break. When we get back, we're going to cover some NFL and some college football for our short show. See you in a bit.
Taking a family of 5 to the amusement park can cost a small fortune.
Oh, yeah. So to save some money, we thought, hey, let's bring the amusement park to us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Step right up, young man. Are you ready to ride the wacky waterfall?
That's just the bathtub with the shower head running.
Nope, it's the wacky waterfall.
It's the shower, Dad.
Waterfall.
Wacky.
There's an easier way to save. To get a free rate quote, go to geico.com. Then buy online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
We may not be able to lower the cost of gas, but we can do something about how many miles you will drive per gallon. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store today and let us help you increase the performance of your car or truck. Simple things like replacing your air filter, changing worn-out spark plugs, and using fuel injector cleaner can add up to better fuel economy and big savings. There's an O'Reilly Auto Parts store close to you that has the name brands, low prices, and people who can help.
Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 and get 1 free. Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner quickly cleans clogged injectors to increase fuel efficiency and help your vehicle run smooth. Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner, buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this? Yes. Ha! Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola. Open happiness. Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you?
And welcome back.
Yes. Cool. You okay with?
Now, in this portion of our show, we're gonna go into some college football and some NFL. Now, I don't know if we covered too much in NFL, but we're gonna go a lot more in depth into college football. So right now, the USC has kind of bounced back after those 2 straight losses, beating Washington State. I was at that game. It was kind of sloppy, but they were able to pull it out and pull it through. And JT Daniels, he has 1,060 yards. He has an average QBR, but you see a third of his yards to Amora St. Brown. I feel like that has to click in order for them to do well. Also, Stephen Carr, he only has 196 rushing yards, so I feel like only 33 carries through 4 games. So I feel like he should be getting more carries a game. If you look at their FBS standings, their points for is pretty bad. Their passing yard is what's good. Obviously, JT Daniels, but they definitely need to kind of get it going. And there really isn't that much to say about USC, but their team stats, they could be better. I believe they have the talent. They have many good players. They just need to put it all together, if you know what I mean. But that is my take. I don't really think there is much to say about USC other than they have talent. They just need to click it together. Now I'm going to transfer to another team that also has a lot of talent, but just needs to click it together, and that is UCLA. So now they are 4th in the Pac-12. Or I believe they are actually 2nd in the Pac-12 South. My bad, they are tied. I don't really understand why. It's just how it works. Now, Dorian Thompson, let's see if they improved. See, they only have 27 carries. Now, they're even worse than USC, in my opinion. in my opinion, they need to, buff it up, and they need to continue on that running game. And I believe that if they do that, they'll be better. Right now, their problem is their points for, as well as USC. That's both of their problems is points for, just getting points on the board. They can get the yards. I was at the USC Washington State game, actually, and I was watching them, and they were driving down the field. They were getting good possessions. They were just never executing. That's their problem. Their problem is executing on the other side of the 50. Going to the 50, they're amazing. They can run, they can do whatever, but once they hit that 50-yard line, they can't seem to move. Now, that gets them yards. That just can't get them points, and points is how you win. Now, that is the problem I feel like I have. But also, Dorian Thompson has half the yards that JT Daniels has. I feel like their offense isn't on the field enough. That's their problem. Their defense needs to keep the offense on the field for longer and give them more rest. Now, that's my take. Now we're going to get to the bigger part of our show, I guess, is the Rams, the Chargers. Now, Aqib Talib, he is out for 8 weeks, and he's going to the IR. That sucks for them. Los Angeles is the best team, or arguably the best team. They've given up 0 to none points. They're literally no higher than 6th in team stats. So their points for is tied for 3rd. Their points against is ridiculous. Their passing yards are ridiculous, and their rushing yards are still pretty good. And if we go to their team stats, this is what I'm talking about. Todd Gurley has 62 carries through 3 games. Now, this is what I want USC and UCLA to do. I know they don't have Todd Gurleys. No one else really has a Todd Gurley. But they need to just feed the running backs more, and I feel like that is going to lead to a way better and brighter offense. Now, that is my take on them. And Jared Goff, I feel like he's transferring along well, which is better. But I feel like they need to develop him a little bit more. I feel like this team, it's like this is the team. They have the defensive guys, they have the offensive guys, they have the pieces in place. They just need to fit everything together, which I feel like they have this year. And that's my take on the Rams. I feel like they have the potential, and they're living up to that potential right now. But can they do it for the entire year is the test. Now, to finish off our show, sorry it's so short, there wasn't that much to cover this week. Now, the Los Angeles Chargers. Bosa, he's going to be out till week 8. Now, that's a big loss, and Los Angeles needs to focus on living up to their hype. Not living up to their hype, but just being able to use Melvin Gordon more maybe, and develop Phillip Rivers. Right now, their points against, I believe, is their worst. Yeah, their points against is why they're losing so much. It's their defense. They have to build a better defense. Now, this is what I was going to say. I just need to check and make sure the stats were right. Look at their team stats, their passing yard, their rushing yard, their points for is all top 10. But their points against is second to last. Now, this is their problem. All they need to do is just fix the defense, and they will be better. Now, they have 31 points against. Now, that is pretty bad. They would have won 0 of their games if they would have given up that many points, if they would have given up their average points. Now, with the Rams, they won all their games, right? And their points against is 12. They would have won every single game. Now, if we go over to USC, let's see about theirs. Their points against is 27.8. They would have won 3 out of 4 of their games. No. 21.8? 27.8. Yeah, they actually would have lost almost all their games. They would be 1-3 right now if they would have done that, because they've only scored more than 28 3 times or once. And if we go to them, if we go to UCLA, they would be they would actually they would be 0-4, because they'd be 0-4. So that's my take on them. The Chargers just feed the running back more and improve the defense. Their rushing yards are actually pretty decent. Their passing yards maybe could be a little bit better. I don't know. They're top 10 though, so you can't really argue with top 10. Now, that is my short little take on each team for the week. I will hopefully have another podcast up with my full take on each team. This is a little quick thing on the MLB and everything like that. And I'll see you next Wednesday.